Fine. Here we go. So, brief backstory for anyone unfamiliar. It's been very well documented. This car had an engine knock, went for a rebuild, wasn't done very well, would be an understatement. I've had it back now about a year. So, in that time, I've been basically just trying to get it to run. After the engine rebuild, barely started, wouldn't idle. It died out after maybe a 30-second idle. Ran rough as guts. Several things were broken or missing. And yeah, net result is it was not a very happy engine. Gradually got it back to some form of normality where it would start, it would idle. We found air leaks all over the place. Got all that sorted out. So it recently got to a point where I was kind of more confident in it and started using it a bit more, just to put some miles on her. Until last weekend. This is Saturday today. It was last Saturday, 7 days ago. Got it home from a 15-20 minute drive and found the engine was knocking again. So that had done, at that point in time, in the year I'd had it back, it had done 2,100 kilometers. So nothing, basically, on a brand new rebuilt engine, for a 1JZ as well, which are notoriously difficult to kill. So I've every confidence it wasn't rebuilt very well. So that's the backstory. Here's where we are. This is the first cold start, or first start at all actually, since getting it back with that noise, with that knock. So we will see if it fires up. It should do. It's normally pretty reliable. It's got a new battery, even though it will obviously probably chug a little bit because it hasn't been started in that amount of time. So let everything tick over. Okay, that's fine. Some issue with the vent, but that's okay. She did struggle. So it starts and idles. I know I shouldn't be running it with an engine knock. I'm just going to change the oil, so I need to warm it up anyway, and I'm not going to boot it in the meantime, so it might be okay. Gauges are warming up. So that AFR gauge was fitted by the place that done the engine, and it reads about 14 all the time. It spikes and troughs at will. It doesn't seem to relate to what the engine itself is doing. It just kind of makes up its own mind that it hovers around 14 in any given circumstance. And yeah, that's yet another issue. Also the bevel, the surround for here, and these are again notoriously expensive pieces, like 85-90 quid to get. That has been lost or taken by the guy. That's an example there, so that's what it should be. These Defi gauges have the silver built into the gauge anyway, so they look kind of in place. It doesn't look out of place until you get to this one, where it's just completely missing, and I've no idea where that went because I took it out, left it in the car, and it didn't come back with it. So there you go. Let's do a quick show around of the engine as well. Yeah. Oh my god, I'm getting old. So it's not in the best state, to say the least. It did sit for a long time. The guy had it that rebuilt the engine. He had it for 10 months, and it sat basically outside in a field with no engine, no bonnet. So the bay's rusted out. You know, anything that was shiny is no longer. Apart from this air filter, that's new though, so I don't count that. It sounds like it's got an exhaust leak as well. That's very interesting. I'm struggling to even think in chronological order what's happened since getting it back. Things like this, the water pump pulley, it had an engine noise before. A good friend of mine looked it over and found the water pump pulley, the 4 bolts on it were just loose, and that's been a running theme along the whole time. Most of the bolts or most of the issues have been bolts that have been left loose, or just totally the wrong bolts entirely. So underneath the coil pack cover, the 3 sets of coil packs, or the 3 coils that actually bolt in, one of those appeared to be stripped. The bolt into the head appeared to be stripped. Wasn't, it was just totally the wrong bolt. It had torn out the very top thread, but thankfully left the rest kind of usable, so putting the right bolt in sorted that. But it's that kind of nonsense issue that it's had. There are things like here between where these two bolt in, the actual point here, there was a cable tie that had been wrapped around the dipstick, was cable tied off here somewhere, damaged this, it's like an idle control or some sort of control. This was all damaged. There was a cable tie in between this mating face, so that was a massive air leak. There was also another piece of wire down in between the two parts of the intake. That was another massive air leak. There's just cables and wires and stuff left hanging around everywhere. The pipe for the air conditioning, so we've actually still got the canister behind here, behind the radiator. There is a small condenser, or like an aircon rad, whatever. I'm not too familiar, but that's still there. The aircon pump down here, obviously you can see the pump there. That had, you can see how clean that is, that had the correct hosing, which again, lost or taken or misplaced, whatever, that didn't come back with it. Also the engine hook, the thing you would lift the engine from, totally missing. So things like that, lost, stolen, I don't know, don't care. They're not here now, and they were when he picked it up. So again, just shit that hasn't been done right. But yeah, I'm going to stop waffling. I'll let it warm up a small bit more, and then we'll take it and just drop the oil out. If there's any forbidden glitter, then you know the engine's toast. If not, I kind of don't know what the issue is, because the engine knock, I don't know how good I'm going to be at editing videos. Probably not very, but if I can, I'll try and splice in some clips of like the engine noise and various other issues to highlight what actually has been found since getting the car back a year ago. Things like this as well. So this is a 2-layer bonnet. The top layer's carbon, the under layer's fiberglass. Completely, well, not completely, but separating. You can see it's been hit on the corner. Not around this side, around the other side. You can see where something's been dropped on it quite badly, and that's down into the carbon layer, so that's not repairable, not by me anyway. I don't know if it would be repairable, but just damage like that all over the place. The front bumper, although I repainted it since, that had been smashed up by driving it over speed bumps, which I did tell him not to. That instruction was ignored, so that's all smashed up. There was already damage on the car. It's nearly 30 years old, like, you know, or 25 years old, so there was damage on. There's things like this, the paint coming off and whatnot, that I already knew about, and that was absolutely fine. But then things like this that have happened since, where that's bubbled up because it's just been sat in a field. The boot as well, the paint on the boot, that was left with bird shit on it, so that's obviously just eaten through the paint, where it wasn't stored inside, it wasn't stored under cover or anything like that. So yeah, all round, not a good job. It has come back with probably more issues than it got there with. So yeah, anyway, as I said, no more waffle. I will get around to my garage and see if we can drop the oil out. Seems really inconsequential, but the only reason I'm filming this is because, oh fucking hell, this hasn't been touched since, oh my god, since the guy worked on it. So there we go. I wanted to document in case anything went wrong. Okay, that's loose enough. I don't know if I can do this with one hand, or no hands, or Hans Anderson, or Hans Gruber, or Hans Zimmer, in fact. Right, I don't care if I drop this because I have a new drain plug, but this is warmed up to like 50 degrees, so burn may occur. Hope not, but if it burns, then it burns. longest thread in existence. There we go. Okay, I'll leave that to drain, and we will see if the glitter is forbidden. It's forecast snow and rain. I don't know, I'm losing the will to live here. I'm not convinced oil should be fizzy. I mean, I know I run on Dr. Pepper. I'm not sure the car should.
Are you filming this?
Yes. Ooh. I did clean this out with some brake cleaner just now. Whether that's reacted with it or not, I don't know. But yeah, that I'll let that brew, and we'll see in a second. I don't know how I didn't notice this before, but this is exactly what I'm talking about. That's either the wrong bolt or it's not been tightened. So that whole thing is just loose. Like, yeah, that's what I've been talking about. I'm trying to figure a way around this without putting too much tension on it. This is this wire here is something to do with the indicator on this wing, because apparently it didn't work, even though it did. So yeah, this had to be rigged in for some reason. So let me just try and get this off. Oh my god. Oh, don't dick me. If this is over tight, I'm going to do my fucking nut. Okay. Oh god. Holy hell. Okay, this could be a problem. So we got the filter off eventually. Good man lives here, had a filter wrench. I need to buy one. Here's what it is. New filter going on is HKS. It's got the neodymium magnet in the top to catch any particles. Also got a magnetic sump plug to go on, so that'll catch any particles in the bottom. So fingers crossed, no more floaty nonsense around the engine. Who knows? Just hand overboard. That's how you get yourself in. Yeah, that won't change it. So I've just pulled the filter off, took the gloves off because they got covered in oil. That ain't right. I'm not very good with what's right. I'm no mechanic, but that ain't right. I don't think there should be stuff and things in there unless it's part of how it's made. Question mark? No. In fact, that is... I don't like oil. Yeah, that's... come back, you fucker. That is some sealant, some silicone, by the looks of it. Where did you go? I'm gonna leave that there a second. That might be a better view. Can you see the amount of sealant coming off that sump? So that has ultimately ended up in the filter in some fashion. Yeah, okay, that's good. If I was any sort of... God damn it, this is such a good idea. Why bullet? Why am I being defeated by a plug? There you go. Right. Oh, this is so awkward. Okay, good. Tell me you suck at pouring oil without telling me you suck at pouring oil. I will go first. Okay, that wasn't so bad. a second. Okay, so it's about halfway, so I've done the rest of that and call it good. This is where, if there's anything, it's going to be quite clearly visible. Thank you, babe. How full is that? Is this even going to fit? That'd be grand. Okay, watch this last little bit.
That was some glitter.
I don't know.
No, it is. It's very shiny.
Sugar. Actually, look at the oil.
That's shiny.
Is it?
Yep.
Cool. So, oil's topped up. Yeah, pretty much confirmed there is much glitter in the oil. So, that fucking sucks. I know it's not advisable to start the car, but I've got to take it home, which is like 100 metres, so here's what it is, but just for continuity, first start. Oh, don't hit my bumper. I mean, there's not much to say, is there? I did spill a bit of oil, but whatever. There is really not much to be said that hasn't been said already. So, at least it built oil pressure a lot quicker this time. Whether that's to do with the silicone in the filter or not, who knows, but there we go.